This is Jonathan Aguilar here for Pro Boxing Fans. I'm delighted to be joined for the first time by Anthony White Chocolate Martinez, cruiserweight contender. For those that don't know, ranked number 14 by the WBO. Got a good story. You've been in camp with Tyron Woodley as well, so a lot to get through. Anthony, how's things going?
Well, everything's perfect. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm very excited to speak with you and let everybody know about myself.
Brilliant. So WBO Latino cruiserweight champion. We can see the belt
That's
over
right.
there right in front of you.
Yeah.
Before we get into that, let's hear a bit about you. How did you get into boxing, Anthony?
Well, I started boxing at a young age. My family's Cuban. They immigrated to the United States, and my family's always had love for the sport of boxing. And my brother came across a gym, and I would just go at a young age, around 7, 8 years old. I would go every day, just sit around, and I would just sit and watch him train. And eventually, I've always wanted to try it out, and I tried it out. And ever since I put on the gloves, I haven't stopped. I started competing at the age of 12, and I met Pedro Diaz, Dr. Pedro Diaz,
Yep.
age 17, and then I did my pro debut.
So you started at 17 years old?
Yeah, I started really early in my career.
Yeah. Same age as Canelo, I think.
Yeah. Canelo started really young too. I believe it was like 16 around there. I think it was even younger.
Yeah, it might have been 15.
Yeah.
Did you have much amateur experience?
Yeah. I mean, I started at a young age at 17 to start pro boxing, so I didn't get to have established myself so much in amateur boxing, but I did get to achieve great achievements. I got to win Golden Gloves twice and state tournaments 3 times. And I actually competed a lot with the trainer that I trained a lot of his fighters. The trainer I trained, Logan Paul, that he trained here in Miami. I had beaten a couple of his fighters in amateurs, and I got to spar and have gotten to compete against very, very experienced fighters.
Who's the best person you've sparred, would you say?
Well, I sparred against a lot of great people, a lot of European champions, I've gotten to spar with Luis Ortiz, King Kong Ortiz.
Yeah.
I've gotten to spar with numerous champions, Olympic medalists, and it's just been a very, a great learning experience working with those fighters, because with such a young age debuting, it was just a great experience.
Yeah, what was that like sparring Luis Ortiz? Obviously, another Cuban fighter. That's a great experience.
Yeah, Luis Ortiz is a great fighter. Great fighter. He has. I have a lot to learn. I learned a lot from him,
Yeah.
and he's just a humble guy, a guy who allows his sparring partners to learn from him, because I get to work with him, but I get to learn from him, which not a lot of experienced fighters like him take the time to work with you. And it was just a great experience, and it was a great time to work with him because I'm very tall, as many people know, and I got to work with him when he was going to fight Wilder, because I might have the same body type as him, and I got to work with him when he was going to do a Wilder fight, when he wanted to do Ortiz versus Wilder 1, and I got to experience the whole fight experience, the fight camp with him.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Is there anyone you haven't sparred yet that you really want to get in with?
Well, sparring, no, but I would love to fight great champions. Like, I would love to fight any champion that has right now in the cruiserweight division or heavyweight division later on in my career. Yeah, my dream has always been, since I started boxing, it was to be heavyweight world champion. But first, I want to take the division of cruiserweight and then jump into heavyweight.
Mm-hmm.
And whoever's the champion then, I wouldn't mind to fight them.
We definitely have a champion over here. I'm sure you know, Lawrence Okoli,
Yeah,
WBO champion. What do you make of him?
he's a great fighter. You never know. Maybe in the future we can make something happen. I love to fight him, and mostly that I'm the WBO Latino champion, so it'll be a perfect match. And yeah, I actually got to see him when not too long ago when I went to England. I was there in England a couple weeks ago,
Yeah.
and I saw him at the show that he was there with Eddie Hearn and all, and I got to see him. And yeah, it'll be a perfect matchup.
I was going to say that I saw you on your Instagram. You were here for fight camp. Your stablemate
Yeah,
Kanju fought Lee Wood a few weeks ago.
yeah,
Yeah, talk us through what did you make of the UK fight camp, and did you speak with Eddie Hearn and everyone else?
yeah. I mean, it was a great experience. Fight camp it was perfect. It was very very professional. It was a very nice show. I got to see Hannah's son. I was really excited to see him fight. It was a great show overall. Well, Khan and Lee Wood, it was a great fight, very entertaining fight. It was a great show. That's the type of fights people like to watch, and it was just a great performance.
Mm. Yeah, great fight. Let's talk a bit more about yourself. 10-1, 9 KOs so far. So just
Right.
the one reverse. How would you sum up the pro career so far?
Well, I had the pleasure to compete with very experienced fighters. I'm very happy with my career, and I just feel like this is just the beginning. I've defended the Latino title already once,
Yeah.
and I plan to keep on defending it and eventually fighting for a world title. I feel like I'm very young. I'm only 22. I'm in the beginning of my career, and I'm just very excited because growing up, this is a boxing home. All we do is talk about boxing. All we do is we eat and sleep boxing, and it's been since a young age of all my dream has been, let's get there, world title, and it's sooner. I'm getting closer every day.
Yeah, 22 years old is extremely young. To be,
Yeah,
full team with the WBO, that's potentially 3-4 fights from a world title. So
yeah.
in terms of yourself, do you want more fights before that? Do you want maybe even 5 fights just to make sure when you get to that world level, you can win the world title?
Well, I'm very excited with everything that's coming out, how my career is coming about. Um, Whatever my team arranges for me, whatever my team thinks is best for me, is what I'm going to do because I think that they've done a great job so far, and I think that I'm just growing every day as a fighter. I feel like a fighter develops every fight. You should be evolving more, and I feel like I'm growing every day, and I'm just very excited. I feel like when the time comes, I will be ready. I feel like that's all I've been dreaming about. That's all my life has been around surrounded by being a world champion. And I feel like when the time comes, I'll be ready.
You've, as I said, had only one loss on your record.
Yeah,
Do you
that's right.
take the positives from that coming at such a young age, that loss?
Yeah, yeah, because I feel like everything is a learning experience. I feel like everything that comes throughout a fighter's career is a chance to learn. And I feel that I've already know what it takes. I know what I have to do, and I know what I can't do, and I know what it's like, you know.
Mm.
So I feel like I know how to bounce back from that, and I know how to get to the top. And I feel like I'm getting to my peak, and I feel like my peak is soon to come. And when my peak does arrive, I'll shine.
Just let us know, how would you sum up your style? Do you have a typical Cuban style, technical sound boxer, or are you a bit more aggressive?
Well, I have a combination of a lot of. As you know, I train with Dr. Pedro Diaz. He's a very experienced Cuban trainer who's trained numerous of Cuban world champions and Olympic medalists. And I feel like I like to grab everything a little bit from everyone. Like you see Ugas, who fought Manny Pacquiao this weekend. He was able to show a different side of Cubans. He brawled, he showed technique, he moved, he 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 made Pac-Man. The Pac-Man is a fighter who's based on rhythm. He likes throwing. He likes throwing a lot of punches per round, and I feel like he was able to establish his boxing style and to not allow Pacquiao to release all those punches. And I feel like that's something that I like to influence in my boxing style. A little bit of I get a little bit of Ugas, a little Ortiz, a little bit of everything. I feel like I learn from every fighter, and I like to establish everything. I don't like to categorize myself as a certain fighter. I like to be very diverse in my boxing style.
Excellent. When do you want to next be out? And are we going to see you on major TV? Has those discussions been had?
Well, yeah, we're waiting for the great opportunity to fight in a great card, but we're taking our time. We're just going fight by fight. We're getting those wins, and that's all that matters. And when the time comes, and with the right contract, the right move, we'll go and establish something with any, if it's the zone, BBC, whatever it is, Golden Boy, whatever the situation is, and we'll make the move then, and then we'll see what goes with that.
Brilliant. Anthony, just moving away from sort of talking about your potential fights, just talk us quickly through your sparring with Tyron Woodley ahead of this Jake Paul fight.
Well, Tyron Woodley is a great fighter. He's potentially a legend in the UFC game. He's as a very experienced fighter. What I think about him, I think he's learning. He's learning a lot, and his best attribute is his mentality. He's a fighter who still he has a lot accomplished, but yeah, he still wants to learn. Tyron Woodley began the UFC with the discipline of wrestling, and he eventually started learning all other disciplines. And I feel like he's doing a great job with the boxing. I feel like he's learned a lot, and I feel like his mentality and the way he's wanting to learn helps him every day, because a fighter should always, even though you reach a peak in certain career, you should always have the mentality of, oh, I want to learn more and I have potential to grow. And I feel like I saw that a lot working with him.
How many rounds did you actually do with him?
Well, that I can't say, but we worked, and it was a great work with him. I feel that he's well prepared. I feel that Dr. Pedro Diaz is doing a great job with him. I feel the Mundo boxing team is doing a great job, and I feel like he's a very disciplined fighter. I can tell from his work ethic, and I feel like he's gonna have a great show. I feel like he's gonna do good. I feel that Jake Paul might be underestimating him. I mean, I know he's not a fighter. He's been doing everything with his career with YouTube and all, but he's starting in the boxing game. And I feel like he better be well prepared, because in the Mundo boxing team they don't lack training.
If you could just tell us maybe one attribute in terms of his boxing that Tyron Woodley possesses that may shock Jake Paul, what would you say it is?
Well, something that I noticed right off the bat with Woodley was that when he first came in the gym, he came in with George Masvidal. He came in to just see around the gym and all that. And then he came in, and then we started working. And what I noticed was the way he was punching, the way he turned his punches. I could tell that he had a good base on striking. Maybe he learned that throughout his UFC career. And but I can tell that he has a good base on his striking skills, because a fighter, you can tell the way they throw those punches, that he has a good base. And I feel that you never know. Maybe after this fight he wants to go and do something with boxing. He's looking good, and he's very, very disciplined and wanting to learn.
Are you going to be out there in Cleveland to watch it?
Let's see. Maybe. I have a training camp and all, so I have to focus on my career right now. But if I do have the time and the break, why not? Maybe I'll get a flight over there.
Brilliant. Anthony, appreciate you coming on. Tell the UK fans what they're going to expect from you and how to follow you.
Well, I hope to be fighting soon in the UK. It was a pleasure being there. I got to see your country, beautiful country. I loved it. And well, hopefully you guys see me soon.
Great stuff. Where do we follow you?
You can follow me at White Chocolate Boxing on Instagram. You can go to my website, whitechocolateboxing.com. And you can find me on Twitter as WC_boxing. And on Facebook, White Chocolate Boxing as well. Yeah,
just before we finish up, where did you get the nickname from?
Oh, White Chocolate? Well, yeah. As you already know, the Kid Chocolate is a very famous Cuban fighter. And growing up, I grew up in a very African-American community. and I was the only white Hispanic. And they're like, "Oh, you're Cuban." And you're like, "Oh, you're like Kid Chocolate." And then White Chocolate stood around and just it sticked around, and White Chocolate it is.
Brilliant. All right, Anthony, appreciate you coming on. We're looking forward to seeing how your career progresses. You've got that WBO Latino belt, full team with the WBO. So let's see, few more years, and we might see you at the top.
Yeah, well, it was a pleasure being here, and I'm glad you're keeping up with my career. And I hope to entertain you all, and I hope you guys enjoy all my fights.
Thanks for talking to pro boxing fans, Anthony. I'm sure we'll catch up again.
Thank you.